Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the first post-game show for season 2026. That game was against the Saints at the G, a showcase game. And, well, here we are, 1-0, and we finally get to right the wrongs in our from our previous opening round fixtures, and maybe playing at the G in opening round is the solution and was the solution in this case. So happy days, guys. Welcome to those who are new to the channel. How we are running the post-game show in 2026. I will immediately react to the game right now in the for the next 15 to 20 minutes. And then we will welcome some fan cams as well. So stick around. We also, for the early comers, we have a $250 gift card vouchers courtesy of Grilled. So for your chance to be in the running for that, I'll put the link in early. So there's a link there. If you click on that link and sign up to Mad Bunday, which is if your team wins on the weekend, you get a free burger, or you get a burger if you spend $20 or more. So enter that, and we will do the giveaway. Lots of giveaways later in the show. And yeah, you just to be a part of the giveaway, you just have to prove that you have actually signed up. So yeah, keep an eye out for that, guys. The link is in the chat, and we have our first super for the night. Appreciate you, Luke Smith, my man. $14.99. Just sending love, and welcome, sir. Long time viewing the post game show, so appreciate you, guys. In the end, 66 reads the Saints to the Pies, 78, 11, 12, 23 scoring shots to 21. And from memory, the Saints had a number of inside 50s to their advantage. But I think, guys, if we've come to learn how the Collingwood Football Club operate these days under Fly, we are not a big team when it comes to volume of inside 50s. It's more about standing up strong defensively as a system, and then getting them on the rebound in transition or by way of forward half turnover, and we do get it there. And considering we had 23 scoring shots to what's that? Where are the team stats here? Inside 50, 23 scoring shots from 40 inside 50s. So that's getting a scoring shot resulted more than one in every two inside 50s, which is classic Collingwood, classic efficiency. And I think the experience tied in with that is what wins you the game in the end. And you could see this St Kilda side, they had some ascendancy and territory throughout parts of the game. However, their efficiency going inside 50 wasn't quite it. Now, does that come down to slow ball movement at times? Possibly. But it also comes from, and we talked about it in the pregame show, we talked about it all week, to be honest. And we were short in the back line, literally. And we had another player in our side playing for the Saints tonight. We felt so sorry for them that we didn't have Darcy Moore and Jeremy Howe. We decided to give Billy Frampton to the Saints tonight. But guys, that's just a classic Billy Frampton game, isn't it? Like, you're going to get with Billy Frampton, you're going to get the very best of him at times where you go, geez, where's this come from, Billy? Like, why can't we get that every season? We got that for 2025, didn't we, the most part? But then there are games where you go, geez, he's far off it. So I think we just live with that. And I don't subscribe to the idea, Billy plays better when Darcy Moore and Jeremy Howe are there, because we've seen Billy Frampton do more than a job on his own. So, look, we're not calling for omissions one game into the season. I think that's just a classic Billy Frampton game, and you live with that. And as I said, going back to my initial point, medium-sized defenders do the job, and none greater than Perryman, who spent a lot of time, pretty much the whole game, holding Naz's hand in the forward line, in the midfield, and the back line. So wherever Naz took him, Perryman was comfortable. And, you know, as long as Naz doesn't get out in space, I think Perryman was always going to have a fair battle with Naz. So he gets the tick there. And then you factor in Quaynor, who was unbelievable, had a handful of intercept marks, and his kicking efficiency was elite, to be honest. I was really impressed with Quaynor in every way, and he was really important for our rebound as well, which was huge. Bruzzy played tall and played with heart. Joshy was good in there. Houston, this is what we're talking about with Houston. We've been saying all preseason. We give him the benefit of the doubt in season one. Not every player is going to come to the greatest club in the land and have immediate impact. So someone like Houston had a similar first season that similar to Lockie Schultz the year before, and hopefully now we get to see the full dividends return from Dan Houston, who was massive in the end. He had 28 touches, 4 score involvements, and a handful of intercept possessions. So that is Dan Houston, who is looking right at home right now for the Pies, which is massive. And then, I mean, Nick and Josh, like, what? That's 77 touches between the two of them, which is insane. And we didn't get much of Josh, if any at all, of Josh in the midfield. But who says, I mean, beats us all. Who says Josh and Dan Houston can't thrive in the back line together? Maybe it was just a matter of synergy and having a little bit more of an emphasis on Dan Houston's ability or helping him get in the game. So that was huge. Guys, we could speak about old mate here all night long. 26 touches in almost just above 50% time on ground, 11 contested possessions and 10 score involvements. I mean, what do you do? What do you do? So it's a huge start. 4 points is massive against a team that is burgeoning and trying to find a way to inject themselves into the premiership conversation. So that was really good. And mate, I'm just happy to be here, guys. I'll be honest with you guys. It's been a long off/pre-season, so we're here. Keep sharing your thoughts in the comment section. In the next 15 odd minutes, we'll get some fan cams going. So keep the comments coming, and we'll address some there. The season will all get tiring, so we can see certain players move to a different position, like Josh to the middle. It's a nice problem to have, and that's the thing. Like, we aren't married to players playing a singular position. Like, Lipinski late in the preseason finds himself in the midfield at center bounces. That happened tonight. We had Perryman, who did maybe a handful of drills with the midfield this whole preseason, puts his hand up in the middle of the week, says, yeah, I'll go Naz wherever he wants to go. And then Pendles, who has not trained in the forward line at all preseason, it was either halfback or in the middle. And then they put him in the forward 50. Mate, I say this respectfully. Who needs Bobby Hill, the goal assist king, when you got Scott Pendlebury delivering 5 goal assists on a platter? Unbelievable. Zaza, thank you for the 5. Should have spent half his time in defense working his ass off. I mean, some of his moments, that tackle on, was it Darcy Wilson late in the game? And then that resulted in a direct scoring shot, I believe, if not a goal. That's just this medium-sized player department at the Collingwood Football Club is what keeps us ticking over. Bo, Lockie, Schultz, Perryman, Elliott, Quaynor, Bruzzy. These players are imperative and critical. And you throw in Jack Crisp. Perryman says, hey, Cripper, I've got to do a job in the middle. I need you on the back line like you were in 2023 and 2022. And he looked at home. Jack Crisp continues to be the guy who can play in the back line. He can play in center bounce when midfielders are missing and do a job. He can play in the forward line. He can play on the wing. Underrated. Chat, how do we feel about, or was there anyone we were particularly disappointed in? Because I don't want it to be all sunshine and roses. Let's be transparent. What didn't we like to kick off the season from certain players or a certain handful of players? Because I've got a couple on my mind, but I'm happy for you guys to get the ball rolling, and we can dive in and out of the positive and the negative. I saw, that's Tommy. That's one there. Lipinski, Perryman, and Steele side bottom in a center bounce. Who would have thought we'd see that to start the season? So that goes to show, you know what that learning is there for me? The learning from that is Fly and the coaching department are really good at ensuring that they don't show all their cards in preseason, because there's sticky beaks like me, Jen, Swoop, Tom Morris, Xander Maguire, who have got their Hawkeye at training looking for any positional changes, adjustments. And they kept Pendlebury trump card in the forward line up their sleeve. Perriman tagging Naz up their sleeve. Lipinski in the middle up their sleeve. And Jack Chris returning to the back line. Membry, a few of you are disappointed in Membry tonight. Look, I think he had moments. He did have 3 scoring shots and missed all 3 of them. Would you be calling for an omission on Membry? No, but it does give West a bit of a sniff and tie that in with Buller's performance. Now, look, early days, I think we can admit what we're going to get from Buller is not a Brody Myercheck. I think we're going to learn to appreciate in the absence of Brody that he is going to be irreplaceable. He is one of one in the way he plays, and Melbourne they're going to grace that with open arms. So sad to see Myercheck go, even more so now when you see what is left, what gaping hole is left in the team. But look, Buller's going to have to do it differently. I think he looked tired at times, applying pressure. So that's adjusting to the new team, the new system, opening round, tough conditions. I think you give him a bit of time to adapt. But I noticed his endurance tank wasn't as prominent as it suggested in the preseason, which is they're 2 completely different ball games. So obviously that's going to be something that is sort of a TBC to be continued. But again, not calling for anything. But if anything, it gives Charlie West. It should give Charlie West all this confidence. Say, hey, I'm ready to go. Like if Membry is going to falter and Buller's not going to have enough impact, then he's there. I think he does a job. Benny Zero. Where are you, mate? Here we go. Welcome to 2026 Legends. Good start. Get hyped. Knock off the preseason darlings. My man Houston got it going on now. The lads last night heard me bank it. Pez, love all night. Up the pies. Huge, Benny. Love that. Thanks for the 20, my friend. We love that. We're back. DC was our best key 40. Presented well. I really liked in that. I think it was in the last quarter. Or no, it was probably third quarter. Guys, help me out. Where there was a shallow entry inside 50, and he sort of just backed into TDK, which forced TDK to use his body on DC, which it forced the umpire into a decision. You see any hands around a player on a forward player, then they're going to call it. So I think that was high IQ by DC in that moment. And he kicked the goal as well. Rowan Steele was really good. What he finished with numbers-wise, I thought he looked at home. I think he's got more in him. 11 touches and a goal, 4 score involvements. I think Steele's ceiling, Rowan Steele's ceiling is higher than that. But so far, so good. I think Ned, mate, what was that? There was that outrageous 25-meter forward handball from Ned Long in the second half that led to a direct goal assist. Can anybody recall who he handballed it to? That was unreal. And that's Ned Long 101 personified. That is what we want from Ned Long, to use that penetrating forward hand pass that is almost as far as a kick. His handballs go as far as a kick. And last year we saw it. He was top 10 in the league for goal assists, if I'm not mistaken. So if you get more of that from Ned Long, mate, he's going to be fine. Totally fine. Rowan Steele was to Rowan Steele, that big-ass hand pass. Yes, Buzz. Yes, Magpie Pete. That big-ass hand pass was to Rowan Steele running through on goal. Bob's your uncle. Bit of Joe the Goose. Up the pies. Yeah, Will Parker's an interesting one. I think he showed signs. He wasn't horrible. I think with Will Parker, it's probably he's just going to need more exposure. That's the reality. We can't. We need. It's still this outcome from this game to me is that the players who are being given opportunities, they're not fully grasping it just yet. I think Parker displayed signs, but did show a lack of composure, being under the ball with intercept marking opportunities and a few sloppy kicks or hand passes here and there, but he wasn't horrible. And he could, I think he gets another gig next week. But you have Harvey Harrison on his heels, although albeit positionally a different role. I think Reef being this hybrid tall who can also dash off the halfback is someone who asked the question of Will Parker over time. Ed Allen, like for me, Ed Allen, like again, not playing on ball is difficult. It makes things a little bit harder for Ed Allen when we all agree he's an inside mid who can get out on the outside if possible from centre bounce. But I think he's a bit fumbly at times, and I think you guys have seen in the season so far, from what we've seen in opening round, this game, the offensive game in 2026 is all about how quickly and cleanly you can chain handball transitions from your back half. It's that simple. It's that tied into hitting up a player and getting an overlapping hand pass to beat the man on the mark. It's really that simple. Although add that in, factor that in with Collingwood's ability to show different types of modes. We saw Brisbane go, go, go. We saw Bulldogs go, go, go. We saw Sydney go, go, go. We saw Gold Coast go, go, go. But I think while it might seem a little bit obsolete or old school, that kick-back game to slow down the tempo is a mode Collingwood are very comfortable with and have been over the last few years. I think we had 50-plus uncontested possessions, which was largely due to slowing down the game and being patient with our ball movement. I think that layer is a layer the younger teams like a Gold Coast, Sydney perhaps, Western Bulldogs, I think they'll struggle with that at times, not being able to kill the game in different periods throughout the four quarters. I think that's a real, I guess, upper hand for the Pies' experience and ability to slow down the game. Would you guys agree? All right. Guys, let's get the fan cams going. So we'll share a link in a moment. Firstly, for those, welcome to the 180 views over here. We're going to do our first giveaway for the night before we get into the fan cams. You have 5 minutes to enter the link in the chat. Sign up to Grilled for Mad Monday. Collingwood win. Therefore, if you spend $20 or more at Grilled tomorrow, you get a free burger along with that. So it's you get that. But the giveaway is a $150 Grilled gift voucher tonight. $250 Grilled gift vouchers. Thanks, courtesy of Grilled and courtesy of Collingwood winning as well. Relish and Victory score a free burger when your team wins every Monday when you spend $20 and dine in. So hit that link. I'll pop it in one more time. And then for those who are also wanting to jump into the fan cams, we can also begin to line up in the backstage. And then we'll get the first giveaway going. So to be eligible for the $150 giveaway for the Grilled voucher, you have to prove to me via Instagram or email that you have signed up to Grilled for Mad Monday. So Grill's Mad Monday campaign aims to leverage Australia's sport culture, making Monday a key occasion for our restaurants and fans. Every Monday, customers can score a free burger when they spend $20 and dine in, following a win by their selected AFL team. Teresa says you need to watch Lions presser. Holy moly. Okay. We can earmark that for post stream. All right. Let's give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll do the first giveaway for a $150 Grilled voucher. The link is in the description. Sign up. Prove to me that you've signed up, and you will be eligible for the first giveaway. Mate, Geordie had 19 touches in the first three quarters. He did not touch it in the last quarter. I think he struggled to get on at some point, maybe in the third quarter for the first 8 minutes of, or maybe the first 8 minutes of the fourth quarter, perhaps. I believe one of the quarters he was out for quite some time, but. 3 goals, extremely efficient. He's such an important difference maker, along with Bo, like not having 25 plus touches each. So they both finished with 20 touches or less, but 5 goals between the two of them is exactly what you want. It just makes such a difference. And Dicko is he's one of his underrated skill components is his ability to chain handball transitions and be clean and stand over some difficult aerial positions and actually still hold on to a mark and continue the chain. I think his cleanliness tied in with Josh, Nick, Quaynor was huge. Bruzzy, Houston helps us get out of the back half. They're big parts of that. Okay. All right. Welcome to 200 of you. We're going to do the first giveaway, $150 grilled gift voucher. What we are going to do, I need you all to hit Collingwood in the chat. I'll close my eyes and I'll select the first winner for tonight. So let's go 3, 2, 1. Enter Collingwood into the chat and I'll select the first winner for tonight. And we'll do the second $150 grilled giveaway before the end of the stream. Collingwood in the chat to enter. We'll give it a minute. Here we go. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. We'll give it 60 seconds. Spend $20 or more on a Monday and get a free burger. And that makes, if you sign up to the link, you're eligible. Okay, going to go in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Closing my eyes, scrolling. And the winner is Huey. That's a familiar name. Huey, congratulations, mate. You are the first winner tonight, courtesy of Grilled, for the Mad Bunday campaign. You get a $150 gift voucher. Can you email me, Hugh? My email is in the chat now. Send me an email. Prove to me that you've signed up to the Mad Bunday campaign, and I'll send you your $150 grilled voucher. Stick around for later in the show. There will be another giveaway, but once again, well done, Huey. Up the pies. All right, let's move into the fan cams. First up, Greatness.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, mate. How are you?
Yeah, just happy to get the win. Got the 4 points. Move on to next week. Who do we play? Crows, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, just I don't know like how much we should like read into like the first game and stuff because I just feel like as much as it is good just to have like football back, I think that's probably going to be the main sort of takeaway from it, and then also the fact that it seems like the boys are in pretty good shape as much as like we were like a little bit off at times, but again, first game of the season, and the fact that we've just got the ball rolling. I mean, I'm sure there's like, complaints here and there and stuff, but really at the end of the day, like, there are no complaints, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So give me who surprised you the most tonight, and it could be good or bad.
Probably, in terms of expectations, just because he stats wise, like he had a really good game stats wise. I think Dicko surprised me in the best way. Because it is one of those things going to each season. You're always sort of hoping that Dicko, has this, as much as we probably don't like the whole narrative that he's like a Dustin Martin sort of type, or he's the Dustin Martin-esque of like Collingwood and stuff. It's just nice to just see him get that good start. Whether if he continues like that throughout the season, we'll obviously wait and see. But it's just good, especially when you have your top end players playing well. I think that's it's always really good to know because if you can have because we know Geordie Eddie's best is definitely a grader. So when you have a player like that who can be an A grader, can perform a little bit under A grade, the fact that we've got that good start, that's that definitely, I don't know, helps the feelings of anxiety when it comes to Geordie this season. So the fact that we've got that good start, at least we can build off that and move from there in a positive way.
So tell me, Shawnee, in 2 sentences or less, I think you're leaning towards a Dicko statement, but what surprised you the most tonight?
Just the way he impacted. I think everything that he did, we're not surprised from what he did. It's just a matter of he played awesome today. You could even tell that, even some of the times when he was sort of grabbing some of the Saints players, you could tell his heart was definitely in it. He was just ready, like not in the literal sense, but in the football sense, he was just ready to fight. like he was just ready to just put on the jumper, bleed for the club. For someone that, I don't think we've ever questioned the fact that, the factor of Geordie bleeding for the club, because he's always been a very passionate man when it comes to Collingwood. We've seen him do some fantastic things. We just need to see him do it more and be more consistent with it. And it's just the fact that it's like, awesome, we've had an A grade game from Geordie. Cool, let's go on to next week. Hopefully we'll get another A grade game. Yeah, probably not expecting it for the whole season, but, because I'm sure he'll have some down games here and there. But I think as long as he can have a consistent year, I think that's because he's probably the, if we got to be honest with ourselves, he's probably that X factor player that could be the difference, whether if we win a flag or not, because he literally impacts that much. Because we know Dacos is amazing, but Dacos is honestly that good where we just know he's going to perform each week. Where Dicko, it's like we don't know if Dicko is going to perform each week. So if we can have Dacos and Dicko perform, then we know we're pretty unstoppable when that happens.
Do you? I don't know if it's me getting older, and people in the chat might go, mate, Ant, like, come on, mate, you're not old. But as I get older, I become a little bit more angst around players who have become injury prone over time. So, like, for example, tonight, it's a bad habit, but every moment I look at Bo McCreary going through his repeat sprint efforts, or Lockie Schultz, he got into a tackle, the exact mirror image tackle that knocked him out in the Fremantle game. He went balls to the wall in that same tackle, and he just prayed to the gods above him, hoping that it wouldn't have the same outcome. So one, the courage, the courageousness that exists within Shooter's game, despite the amount of, I guess, injuries he's had, and then also to go with his soft tissue injury. My point is, I put a lot of energy in stressing over them. I wonder if Sean, maybe you share that, or chat, you guys are a bit overly anxious about certain players who have had prolonged injury history.
I don't know if it's necessarily like showing or being anxious about it, but you just feel for them because, again, like we know Geordie bleeds for the club, and I mean, even because I think, you mentioned like Bo as well. Like Bo has been one I've mentally and emotionally invested in pretty much since the second we drafted him. I mean, for those that have like stuck around, at least like for me personally, like literally in his first year, I literally said this guy is going to turn into Dane Swan. And I still sort of stand by those comments. Like there is some part of me that still feels like he can not probably get to those like levels in terms of like stats wise and necessarily ability, but to the eye, you can probably convince someone that's like, if you've got like a 10-year-old kid that's sort of watching the football and he's like, oh, back in the day, who did this person play like? Oh, he played like Dane Swan back in like, if you're watching, say, Dane Swan in the current day, who did Dane Swan play like? It's like, oh, he played a little bit like Bo. He's obviously got a long way to go in terms of doing that and being that sort of consistent midfielder that's sort of, running, taking the game on. One of my biggest things with Bo as well, because I think it's starting to become now the second person I'm sort of praising, but I really, really like the fact that he actually took the game on, and he's always been very. He always has in the past has seemed to shy away from wanting to take the moments. I mean, perfect example is Nick. Nick does not hesitate when it comes to taking the game on, breaking the game open. Where Bo seems to be a bit more sort of a bit more of an introvert in that sense. And the fact that we're sort of seeing him like, be more of an extrovert and willing to, take ownership of his own game. And the 2 goals he kicked today, and I can't remember how many disposals he had. I would imagine it's still around anywhere between 15 to 20. But it's not the numbers, it's the intent and the fact that, I mean, he even got like a handball, was it off Pendles, I believe, when he like kicked the goal, his second goal, I believe.
Yep.
It's just moments like that. We weren't getting that from Bo like 2 seasons ago. We had moments where he did it last season, but like that's definitely, that's also definitely one player I was sort of I don't know if surprise is the right word. I was just happy for him because, like, God damn, like, finally, like, it's like clicked for him because, he's been one. Out of all the players in that draft that we had in 2020, he was sort of the one that I'm like, this is the dude. Like, this is the dude I want to back in. I want to put all my stocks into because he just had so much ability and potential. I mean, I don't know if I give him much evidence, but I think I can talk about Collingwood all day and probably Bo just as much.
Yeah, right.
Just to see the ownership from Bo, that was it's been something that's been building, but that was like something I was really, really happy to see because that is what's going to make him be this under the radar, even underrated footballer to damn, this he's going to be that flashy player that's going to take on the big moments. Like it's going to, it's probably going to get him a few extra dollars in his contract, which is only good for him and stuff. And I mean, hey, if you earn it, why not take it? So
that's it.
Yeah, that's beauty. Yeah.
All good. Greatness. Appreciate you, brother. We've got to keep it rolling. Good night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great night.
Yep, all good.
All
right, see you guys. Go Pies.
Go Pies. The Warble, Matt. Hello. Who's that? Guys, who? There he is.
Anthony, how you doing, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
All right.
Oh, it's Matthew. It's Luke 16:29. Is that the one in the Bible? Is that the right verse?
23:43. Yep, that's me.
Sorry. What'd you make of the game?
All good. I like it when you don't play that well and still win. And at this time of the year, that's a good place to be.
Yep. I'm gonna throw you a question.
We got the job done. We got the job done.
I think there might be a slight delay, Matt, so we'll try work with it. Question without notice. It's pinned on the stream here. One goal between our tall forwards wasn't ideal. What did you make of that?
Well, it was going down to them real scrappy. So I'll give them a pass. Now, Membry had 4 shots at goals. You would have backed him in to kick at least 2 or 3 of those. So I'll give Membry a pass. Jack Buller, what I really like about Jack Buller, he didn't set the world on fire, but he hits packs hard, and because he's so big, he gets his hands on it. So I really like the way Buller hits the packs and makes a contest and brings the ball to ground. The marks will come, the goals will come. So I was pretty happy with Buller. Him and McStay got in each other's way a few times. But I was a bit disappointed with McStay. He, as a leader of the club, he's 30 years old. He really needs to lead that forward line. And, I think he needs to be the one hitting some packs and getting his hands on the ball. And he just really wasn't near it, I thought.
Yeah. So in that case, given we've won the game and, Membry in most other games, you're kicking 2 or 3 of those that he missed. Buller just finding his feet, competing well, probably looked a little bit underdone endurance-wise, getting baptized in an opening round fixture for the Pies. And then, McStay, had a few soft drops in the back half, which led to goals and probably should have kicked a couple more, maybe clunked a couple more. I think for me, I would say let's persist next week against the Crows, and then we can start talking about the Charlie Wests of the world. Do you agree with that, or would you go somewhere else?
Yep, I'd pretty much go with the same team. Even with the young blokes, especially Allen and Parker. Like Allen really didn't really bring much. He had a couple of real vital fumbles. But I think what Fly and the selection team needs to do is when they put a young bloke in like that, they've got to say to them, what we're going to do, we're going to give you 3 games and to take the pressure off them so that sometimes it's not going to come off for you, but we want you in this spot. It's just unfortunate with Allen. He's just better as a midfielder, and when he's played on the wing and half forward, it's better if he's in the middle. But no, I think they've got to persist. I'd almost have an unchanged side.
Cool. I agree. I would agree with you in the sense that we've won. And you may as well keep the 23 there, barring a Darcy Moore, Jeremy Howe, but that's still to be seen. But
yeah,
I think the challenge on Ed Allen is, okay, yes, you're not playing your primary position, and very, very rarely do you get that opportunity when you're trying to break into the side. So it's a bit of a catch-22. Exactly. But if you're fumbling it in these outside situations, or you have an opportunity as a winger where you are in a cluster of mess, and you fumble that, like you see with Nick and Josh and Houston and Brazzy and Pendles, when it's a cluster in the transition, when they get the ball, their hands are going to be silky clean. They barely have the ball in their hands for more than half a second, and they've gotten rid of it. When Ed Allen has his chance to complete that connect four or whatever you want to call it, he needs to hit it to prove, okay, well, Fly's seeing and Boydie is seeing Ed Allen being clean in his transitions, because if you can't do it there, then what makes us think that Ed Allen can do it in a center bounce when it's arguably the most angst-inducing situation at a center bounce?
We have so much depth in the midfield that a guy like Ed Allen, he's going to have to play on a flank or a wing. And they're going to say to him, hey, we see you in the future as an inside and outside midfielder, but there's like 9 guys ahead of you. So you're going to take your opportunity wherever you get on the ground. You could play across half back at some stage. You're going to take it with both hands, because there's so much pressure with all these new the new blokes we've drafted they could all play this year. He really needs to. Hopefully they stick with him, but he really needs to grab it with both hands in the next week or two, in the next couple of rounds, or he'll be back in the reserves.
Yep.
But I see a lot of upside with him.
Yeah. Okay. And just the game in general, did you see different game modes from the Pies tonight? And if so, what did you make of that?
I think they're starting to do a little bit of it, and I find it annoying. I find it a bit boring, but the territory game where the short chipping, kick mark, and they get to sort of halfway, and then they go, and it can be a bit frustrating. We all want to see them bite off one and hit someone in the middle, but it works for Brisbane. So they don't always do that. Sometimes they'll go from half back. I'm one of Fly's biggest critics, but I thought his coaching was outstanding tonight. The way he used, especially the way he used Pendles, and the way, that we were at times we weren't. It wasn't clicking, but it just seemed like it was going to eventually. It was. We were rusty, but we just got it done, And at the end, how cool were we at the end when there's like 8 minutes to go, and St Kilda just didn't have the experience to pressure us, and we just said, "Oh, we'll just play keepings off for 5 minutes," and because we're just so used to that scenario and so experienced doing that.
Isn't it crazy, Matthew, that, and I can tell you this from firsthand vision, the whole preseason, Pendles didn't spend a moment in the forward line, and he comes in, and tonight he's asked to do a job in the forward line. Played mid, played half back in the preseason, absolutely zilch in the forward line, and he walks out with 26 touches in 50% game time, 5 goal assists. Like those numbers are break the Richter scale. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah, he's still one of the best players in the comp. He keeps getting played, but he's at a level that few are at, and just if we can, because we've got this extra man on the bench, and that's so helpful for our team with guys like Sidey and Pendles. You can just have the luxury to just bring them on for the second half of a quarter. Oh, how good! And
Matthew,
just when the heat goes off the game.
Matthew, is an apology owing? yet, or not quite yet regarding your old friend Dan Houston?
You're about to talk. You talked about Dan. Okay, you might. I thought you were watching Mick's show the other night. Was it last night?
I was, but
So
I
so
thought,
this
I thought it was
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Absolutely, very happy for Dan today, and that's what he can do. But the excuse that Josh is the main man. So when Josh is the main man across half back, Dan just it's not fair on Dan. You can have two dominant half-back flankers, and that's what they showed tonight. Like, if you're playing on the half-back flank, wouldn't you love Josh Dacos to be on the other flank? Just like how good would that be as a half-back flanker? So I think maybe at Port Adelaide, that was their system was we've just got one dominant half-back flanker. But that just showed that that's not an excuse. They can both play down there and they can both dominate, and they did tonight. He was a bit quiet in the second half. Like I think he had like 20 touches for the first half, Dan, and then I don't know. I think he had 6 or 7 touches in the second half. But that's what he can do. He can. This is what we've got with Houston. If he can do that everywhere, we've effectively got a new recruit, a new All-Australian recruit. But it shows they can both be down there and they can both play well together and they can both be the main man.
Yeah.
But no apologies. No apologies for what I've said last year because he was poor last year.
You're all good. You're all
but
good. You're all good.
I hope and I trust that he will bring that more often than not this year, and it'd be great if he does.
Yeah. Look, I'm happy to. I love being wrong in these cases, and I'll concede myself, Matthew. I don't know if you share the same opinion. I was one of those guys who thought, okay, well, I think Josh has to be thrusted into the midfield a little bit more to enable Dan Houston to do what he needs to do in the back line. But I don't recall Josh starting a single centre bounce. And tonight we learned that, sample size of 1, bear in mind, of course. But tonight we learned to an extent that they could very well thrive in each other's company in the back line.
I have no doubt. And I hopefully that's what Dan Houston is thinking tonight, saying, hey, look, we can be an awesome team back here. And the thing is about Dacos, it'd be great for Josh Dacos to be in the middle. Do you know what we don't need him? Do you know how many mid players in that side can play midfield? Chris, Pendles, Sidey, DeGoey, Nick Dacos, Josh Dacos, Bo McCreary, Longy, Lipinski, and now Ed Allen. There's like 10 players who you could trust to go into a centre square bounce. So Josh doesn't need to play in the midfield. That's a luxury. Pendles doesn't need to play in the midfield. So we've got so much midfield depth that when a young bloke like a Swadling or a Prindable or an Anderson, when they get their call up, Fly's going to say to him and said, look, you're going to play on a half-back flank, Sam, Swadling, or Prindable. We might put you on a half-forward flank, but we've got so much depth in our midfield. That's what you might have to do for 12 months, and you will get your chance in the midfield. We're just spoiled for riches in the midfield, and it's scary for the opposition teams, I reckon.
Yep, love that, Matthew. Loved your input tonight, and I'm sure we'll touch base again this time or next Saturday, I believe, against the Crows. So that will be another completely different prospect that we faced tonight, being the Saints.
Absolutely. All right, thanks for having me. Go Pies.
Take care, mate.
Bye, mate.
All right, so we'll keep the fan cams rolling. Welcome to 220 of you guys. I appreciate your support tonight. If you guys, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We do post-game shows. We're here, win, lose, or draw, and we dissect the good, bad, and the ugly. Guys, QR code's there if you want to become a Patreon member for $10 a month. It goes a long way. There's also a pinned comment to support the channel. It's a Patreon link as well. That's the best way to support the channel, along with you guys contributing in the chat and the community in whichever way that looks. So I appreciate you all. Let's move on to the next fan cam, and that is the great Benny Zero. Here he is.
G'day, guys. How are ya? How good was that?
Good. So you were at the game, Benny?
Absolutely, mate.
All right, give us the fans' perspective.
Yeah, I was going to say, I kind of have to give you that sort of at-ground eye test sort of review of it, because as much as you love to sort of get a TV viewing and get a bit more information, sometimes what you see at the ground is different to what you see on telly. Well, it is different, not sometimes, it's just the way it is. But what I saw, I really liked, I mean, the Dacos brothers, Josh and Nick, they're just freaks, mate. Absolute freaks. It just looked crazy what they were doing all night. Dan and Bruzzy down back, I think Bruzzy was underrated tonight, mate. From what I could see, he was just everywhere and punching everything and getting involved. He was fantastic. Dan Houston, I mean, early on, he was shanking some kicks. He was sort of padding his kicking with his kicks with the kick outs, but he improved as the game went on, and you saw him starting to take on some kicks, some funky ones that he pulled late. Shame he didn't get that goal. That would have really topped it off for him, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What about the vibe of the opening
go.
round game between the Saints, being a Saints home crowd? When I heard the Saints run out compared to the Pies, it genuinely sounded like the Saints were louder.
I can tell you why they were louder. They turned the speakers up for him, mate. I barely heard our song from the speakers. And then when the Saints one came out and they launched their fireworks and crap, and I was like, come on, guys. This is like the Queen concert back in the day where the manager pumped up the volume at Wembley Stadium or wherever it was. Remember that? That's what this was. They made it sound so much louder than it was because our crowd dominated them all night. You know, we had the chants, we had everything going, mate. It was fantastic.
Did you link up with Chronological?
Yeah, I ran out while they were having a durry outside, and I quickly ducked out and said g'day to them.
Huge.
Always good.
Did you have a drag?
Me, please. I was like my kryptonite, just being outside around the smoke, wasn't it?
Oh. I always say if Pendles is around the corner, just think about that because he'll get into you if you're having a cheeky drag. But anyhow,
no way. Speaking of Pendles, how about 50% of time on ground for 20 something? Did he have? I haven't seen all the stats and stuff, but I know he wasn't playing much, and when he was killing it.
Yeah, mate. We could talk all night about the guy behind me to my left. He's a joke, and yeah. I think I say this every season, Benny. The last few seasons, anyways. the decline, this foreseeable decline, according to the media, will only happen if and when Pendles decides to retire at some point. That's when I'll somewhat agree with the media pundits.
Yep, and I can say at the ground, and you don't see it behind the scenes always on screen. He was talking to players, telling them where he wanted to go. He handed off a goal, I think it was to Geordie, and he straight away started telling everybody what he wanted to do next, what he wanted to see. At 3/4 time, he was having a really in-depth conversation with the umpires. I saw that. He was there for a good 2 minutes before he joined the huddle. So I don't know what he was telling him. Probably, put your glasses on or something. But he was just everywhere in control of things tonight, behind the scenes, what you don't see on TV.
I love him, mate. I love him. We've got a dog at the family house, and his name is Dicko. I think it'd almost be. I mean, Dicko because Peter, Nick, and Josh. I think next dog that is welcomed into the family, it's got to be a pet. Does anybody have a dog named Pendles after? Does anybody have a dog or cat in the chat? Do they have their pet named after a certain Collingwood player? For me, Pendles is next.
Yeah. Wouldn't or Scotty, whatever you want, you get something going on.
Yeah. What was my next question, Benny? My question for you is: how did you see Jamie Elliott's first half compared to his second, and then give us a wrap?
Eye test. He looked really quiet. Was running around a lot. I did see. I just didn't quite. Again, I need to see the TV to either back up or slap my opinion in the face. Yeah, he didn't seem like he got around it a hell of a lot. Like Buller seemed to be getting to the footy and not doing anything with it. And Jamie was leading hard. I could see he was moving around and cutting across the field quite often. He seemed like a quiet night to my eye. Am I wrong in that, or did I not see enough?
I think Elliott, I think there was a period in 2023 where he had so many almost games, and then I think he warmed into it a bit more towards the back end. And then even in 2024, when he returned from injury, he was having a lot of almost games. That first half was very much a rusty looking Jamie Elliott, but I think in the second half, he presented really well, took that really strong contested mark and converted. So he leaves the game with a goal to his stat line. I think he played an important part, but again, we're not criticizing him because it's one game. The guy's a jet.
And I'll say, I did
worked
see a
his way
few
into it
times
beautifully.
where he was in the right spot making leads and either went over his head or just didn't quite sit. The kick was the problem a few times. I did notice, and like the lady next to me was like, "Oh, can you just kick it to Jamie?" And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." Like sometimes sometimes it didn't suit him.
Yeah. What did you rate of that? The new Saints recruit. He played in the forward line. It was Billy Frampton. How do you go? How did you rate his performance?
So I saw Reacher absolutely hammering him. The eye test didn't see that bad for him, Like, but I really have to watch it again because I was like, maybe all the bad crap, where I sit, right? So maybe all the real bad stuff was at the other end and I didn't quite pick up on it. I feel like he padded his stats a lot tonight with kicks back to him constantly. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
To
look,
cross the
I
field.
think part of Collingwood, I guess, directing the tempo of the game at times was a bit of an emphasis on slowing down the game and spreading. It was almost soccer style in a way where they were playing around in the back line and trying to stretch the ground and then looking for something,
Yeah.
a kick into the middle that would lead into an overlapping hand pass inside 50. So I think Frampton did stat pad in that sense, but it was necessary the way we were playing.
Absolutely.
So I think those numbers, you leave those numbers and the kicks and marks that Frampton had. You have to watch it back and just see how many blunders he had tonight. But it was a classic. I said earlier in the stream, he had a classic Billy Frampton game where it's either really bad or pretty good.
Yeah. So he was so you'd say he sort of did lean towards the bad Frampton kind of night.
Just a little, man. Just a little. Yeah,
Just
you're gonna have to watch
bit?
it back.
All right. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'll probably put it on later and just sort of have it on in the background and catch it because, as you know, it's sometimes hard to see when it's up the other end of the ground, and I prefer to watch the oval than the screen. So I might have missed a few, but I've seen a few people giving him a bash.
No, there's a bit of conjecture in the chat, and some people are saying, "Why are we so hard on Frampton?" Look, I'm saying he had a bad game. I'm not saying get rid of him. We know Billy Frampton can have these types of games. We saw him play the whole season, whole 2025 season, playing unbelievably. I'm just saying we saw the Billy Frampton of old tonight in multiple different patches, whether it be by foot, aerially, panicking. But look, I don't want to be all sunshine and lollipops in here. I want to, the good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah. That's what we stand by here.
Yeah, hopefully he can warm into it a bit and get his. I mean, you know that I always crap myself when he's about to kick the footy. It's like I want you to hands off to someone and let them do the job. That's always my Billy role. And a few times tonight, I could see that there was a couple of turnovers. I'm like, oh, that's when I want Billy to hands it off. There was no one around him though. He was the last man because we're doing all the switch play.
Correct. I'm looking at the players here. What did you make of the DC and TDK contest?
Yeah, I again, without seeing the stats, it seemed pretty even. Now, TDK did the Grundy maneuver. Did you see at one point where he pulled back and made DC jump across? And I went, "You cheeky bastard! You've been paying attention at least," because Grundy did it the other night. And everyone around me had no idea what had happened. It's like, they probably don't know about the ruck rules and things like that have changed. And I'm like, well, he's been watching the games this week, surely, and he just pulled one out on DC. It's unfortunate, but it looked pretty even. How was it statistically though? I mean, DC went back and took some great marks as he does. And again, I turned to some of the people around me and said, well, that's what he does really well. That's his sort of point of difference for us and some other ruckmen. They agreed. They all knew it. They were like, yep, that's our DC.
Yeah. I think between the two, it was they both had different moments in the game. I think truth be told, maybe TDK slightly had the upper hand. He outwitted him in the center bounce, particularly when Saints got their tails up in the middle portion of the game. But then again, Darcy Cameron had an important moment, kicked a goal, some big intercept marks as per usual. So I'd say probably 60-40 in TDK's favor, which is, you probably take that in the end.
Yeah, cool. I've got to say, because I saw TDK up close in the warm up. Man, he's a specimen. He's such an athletic looking body. He just looks huge, mate. I don't know, like next to DC, it doesn't quite stand out as much. When you see him in person, you go, "Wow, he's a big boy."
Yeah. Yeah, he's huge, and he's going to be an important asset. And to be fair, I think in the end, what let the Saints down is probably their entries going inside 50. They had probably 20 plus on us. Their inexperience
it felt
got
like
the better of them on a big stage opening round. So I think they'll be better for it in the long run. But they just came up against the side who's been there before, to put it bluntly.
Yeah, look, St Kilda looked sharp. And I mean, Perryman took Naz out of it, but from what I could see, I don't see real influential stuff very often from Naz, you know?
I mean, what Naz is going to have to learn is how can he play with a player who's been assigned to him. And it's a tough assignment in Harry Perryman. So that will be his next step in his development.
Yeah. Now, did we lose Pez as like his normal sort of thing tonight, or did he do a few things as well? I just didn't really notice, or was he just hardcore dedicated? Just stop.
Before I look at the stats, I think the fact that Naz was kept, I think he maybe had 15 touches for the game, and his efficiency wouldn't have been too crazy, too good. I think Perryman was top 3 most important players tonight, alongside, I'm going to say, Nick Dacos 1, Isaac Quaynor 2, Harry Perryman 3. But Perryman had 22 touches, 5 contests, a lot of outside touch.
And Perryman had 22.
Yeah.
Wow, awesome. I wouldn't have called that. That's impressive. Yeah, that's a good call by you then. Who was it? Oh, Brad Hill. I saw he took a lot of he looked like he was everywhere tonight. So maybe they sort of said, oh well, they're going to tag him like Nick gets tagged, someone else does the job. So yeah, he looked like he was everywhere.
Yeah, Brad Hill's outside run is second to none. He's obviously had a good preseason, did well in the State of Origin. He's taken that form into the season. He's going to be a good asset for the Saints in the way that the league is moving, in the way that you need to play to be a great side this year.
Yeah, look, St Kilda would be very scary. I can't. We played really well. I think it looked great, and St Kilda just weren't quite there. But they're going to be scary because they play without mercy as well. They like to push it on, and I noticed we at times tried to cut them up, and a lot of times we were successful. And just that odd handball to the feet of our running player that interrupted it. But quite often we pulled them off, especially coming off the half back line. We were slicing and dicing and getting it done. And then, like we do, the 35 goes up on the bench and we kick it wide. And at times, I could feel the frustration in the people in the crowd around me thinking, oh, can we just go with it? And I said, you've got to understand, they're taking time off the clock now, so they don't have to worry about it later. That's just what we do. And the other thing I noticed the crowd get upset about is the easy possessions, marking possessions, I'll say, coming out of our forward line. And it's like, well, that's just what we do as well. We wait till it gets to the mid to half backs before we really set up and go for that hard intercept. We'll let them kick it across our forward line, their half back line. We don't give a shit, they just do it all day. And I don't think the crowd didn't quite understand it fully, It's like, that's just how we are.
Yeah. Just quickly, guys, in 5 minutes, we're going to do the second grilled $150 gift voucher giveaway. So to be eligible, click on the link, sign up for Mad Monday, spend $20 on the Monday after your team wins and get a free burger that goes along with that. If you sign up to that and you prove to me, if you win, to prove your eligibility, you need to send me the screenshot of your sign up. So we'll do that giveaway in about 5 minutes. It's $150 grilled gift vouchers. So Huey won the first one about 20 odd minutes ago. We're going to give away the second one for the night. So get around that link there and you'll be eligible and in the running for a $150 grilled gift voucher. Huge.
How good's that? Get a tasty burger into you guys.
Yeah, on a Monday as well. Benny, my biggest question mark going into this season beyond, the youth and whatnot was because we played such a slow game plan last season, because we moved away from this game plan where we were swift and quick in transition and chaotic and forward hand passes in 22 and 23. We were a bottom 4 side for goals scored from our defensive half last couple of seasons, but we were a top 4 side when it came to forward half turnovers and scores beginning in our forward half. So my question was, watching all these teams this week, I was like, man, I just don't know where the speed and where the clean handball transition comes from to match the evolution of the game. But for us, yeah. But tonight I have solace in seeing Quaynor, Brazzy, Houston, Crisp, Nick, Josh, Pendles, Dicko linking up through the middle, Ned Long without fumbling. That's the biggest thing. Like, it's a small thing, but the second you fumble or that hand pass isn't quite perfect, it kills you on the way back.
Comes back, doesn't it? Yeah, that's it. And we copped it a few times, and it wasn't always the inexperienced guys doing it. Just it happens. I was quite happy at times seeing that pace on the ball and fast ball movement. Not just fast possessions, fast ball movement is important. And I also saw a lot of that sort of spin and handball as you go kind of thing, spin out of the tackle midway and tap it over your head, that sort of stuff. I saw a fair bit of that. I can't give you a number. I just remember seeing it a lot. And quite often it broke someone free. I mean, Nick's classic. He does it all the time. But other guys were doing it, and it was coming off. It was just getting to that, out of the congestion. Surprisingly, like you surprise your opposition by, all of a sudden you throw it behind you, kind of thing, and it pulled off nicely. So I'm happy that we have those gears, and I wonder what the balance will be as the year goes on. Are we gonna use it? And then fall back to the Presti mode and the wide crap. I call it crap because it doesn't look, it's not good on your eyes. We want to see that fast paced stuff constantly, but no one can maintain that for a full match anyway, can you? So you got to have your gears, and we have them.
Yep. And that's probably one of the big telltales of the outcome of this game. Like, the Saints had a 1.5 to 1 kick to handball ratio, which is 225 kicks to 160 handballs. You can do the math there. Then Collingwood, conversely, on the other hand, 270 kicks to 170 handballs. So that sort of paints a picture of how Collingwood were able to enter those different modes: kick, mark, spread the field, but also know when to go when Nick has the ball, when Josh has the ball, when Geordie has the ball. Whereas it seemed like maybe the Saints didn't have the ability to slow down the game when it needs to be slowed down. But they also scored. I'm looking forward to finding out how many goals they scored from centre bounce, because I know they scored at least 2 or 3 directly from centre bounce.
Yeah, their clearance seemed really, really good tonight. Again, eye test. I would have said they might have had double centre clearances to us. I'd be surprised if the actual numbers showed otherwise.
Yep. There you go. All right, Benny, I'm going to go do this giveaway, and then we'll move on to the next fan cam. So I appreciate you jumping on. It's fresh from the G.
Yeah, mate. Rushed home. Awesome.
You. Good man.
Thanks, Ant. Catch you later, guys.
Take care, Benny. Bye-bye. All right, let's do this grilled giveaway. Tommy, if you win, you just need to send me, whether it's by Instagram or email, I'll share it to the winner. Just prove to me that you signed up and you're eligible. So, guys, we're going to do the grilled gift voucher, $150, second $150 grilled gift voucher for the night. I need you to enter Collingwood in the chat, and I will randomly select a winner now. So enter Collingwood in the chat, and I will close my eyes and pick a winner. I'll give you guys a minute, and then from there we'll announce the winner, and we've got some more fan cams. So stick around, guys. Also, while that's in the works, what was also impressive was just the way we approached opening round. It's going to be looked in a positive light. We were quite conservative in the way we approached our practice matches, and with all the case studies we've had in the last couple of years, the way we've approached it it looked like we ran out the game really well. Maybe it was the uncontested possessions where we were maybe plus 50, where it wore out the Saints. Perhaps that was part of the wearing out the Saints, just keeping the ball on the outside whereby possible. Put Collingwood in the chat, guys, if you want to be eligible for the $150 grilled gift card. So put it in, and then we'll go from there. Another 30 more seconds. the media, I like to say, very fumbly, but it's the first game. Yeah, there were moments where we were fumbly, I suppose. You wish you liked grilled? Come on. Can't not like grilled. Here you go. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Closing my eyes. Closing my eyes. And the winner is not Teresa. Joshy, there you go. Joshy Jacobs. Does that count? I think we count that. Collingwood there. Joshy, my friend, I think I've got you on, you probably got me on Instagram or email or Discord. Send me your proof that you've signed up, and then I will send you the $150 grilled gift voucher. So well done. Well done there. Congratulations, Joshy Jacobs. All right, moving on to the next portion of fan cams. Dicko, you're with us in the pregame. You're here for the postgame. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Mate, you sound tired.
Yes, it's been a long day. Got up at 8 p.m., 8 a.m., and yeah, now it's midnight. So, yeah, been a pretty long day, but good to get the win.
How was the energy at the ground being a spectator?
Yeah, so there were 83,000 at the game. It was probably one of the quieter 83,000 attendances I've been to, but it was still a good, good atmosphere. Probably 50-50 split fans wise. The fans, it was very interesting how angry both sets of fans were getting at the umpiring, just how inconsistent and poor some of the new interpretations are.
Yeah, what did you make of the rule changes with regards to, the man on the mark, the centre bounce? What were your thoughts on that?
So there was a first goal where uh, I think Brad Hill kicked the goal with a stand rule, which didn't seem to make any sense to me. Um, where Rocky Shook stood and then it wasn't paid a free kick. And then the interpretations of holding the ball, it's just so inconsistent. You're allowed to throw the ball, but then they'll randomly pay a free kick just out of the blue. So it's an interesting time for umpiring, especially this round one early period. They need to, just have a look at that.
Yeah. What was your biggest takeaway from the game, whether it be good or bad or in the middle?
Yeah, so so from the first quarter, we set out in that first quarter and we just handball chaos footy, handball, and and I was like, all right, this is good to watch. Like this is fun, good footy. We're adapting to the times. This is going to be very good to watch. And then in that second quarter, St Kilda just shut us down, just completely shut us down. We had to kick it long to no one, and they were on top. And then I looked at the scoreboard, and they were only up by 2 at half time, and they had dominated us in that first half, and somehow they were only up by 2 points. And that was the reason we won the game. When we dominated, we would score 3 goals in 5 minutes, and but when they dominate for 15 minutes, they don't really get 1 or 2 goals on us.
Yeah, I noticed
So,
for the first 2.5 quarters, it was St Kilda kicked 2, we kicked 2, St Kilda kicked 2, we kicked 2, and then finally that score worm saw a different trend towards the end of the game. But St Kilda had answers for the most part. In the end, they just ran out of time. Dicko. Oh, mate. We've lost Dicko. Sorry, Dicko. Kev. Kevy. I reckon they're all falling asleep on camera. Chris.
Hey, Anthony.
Hey, mate. How you feeling?
Yeah, very happy. I'm happy with Perriman, tagging Naz.
Yeah, how good was that?
Yeah, awesome.
Do you reckon that leads to more midfield time for Perryman, or is it just purely a case? Is it a purely case by case scenario depending on whether Perryman needs to tag?
I think Perryman needs to tag whoever the best player is. If he's in the forward line, midfield, defense, put him on their best player.
Yeah, it's interesting because like for the last couple of years, the Pies don't really do a hard tag, and that was a relatively hard tag. So that caught us off guard, didn't it?
Do you know who Adelaide's best player is? So he can tag them next week.
I'm gonna say I wouldn't mind seeing Perryman on Jordan Dawson. That's for sure.
I wouldn't mind him on Rankin.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, give me 1 second, Chris. We'll talk. I don't know if Rankin's available, but Joshy said he doesn't want the voucher, so I'm gonna scroll back up to another where the Collingwood giveaway is, and I'm gonna give it to another person. Bear with me. We'll give the voucher to someone else. Closing my eyes. Anyone there? I've hit Teresa again. I need to close my eyes again. I can't hit one. There we go. Jakey, mate, if you're still in the chat, you've won the second $150 grilled gift voucher. So send me a message on Instagram or in the Discord. I'll put my email in the chat. Prove to me that you've signed up, and we will send you the $150 grilled gift voucher to your way. So there you go. Yeah, so I don't think Rankin's playing this week upcoming, but I wouldn't mind seeing a Harry Perryman on Jordan Dawson this Saturday.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. Because the thing is, I said it to you in the pre-game show. Wherever he plays, I think Perryman will tag him.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. I think he was outstanding. He found footy of his own, Perryman, and then did a pretty solid job on Naz. Even if maybe the service to Naz wasn't what he wanted, I think he found a way to really mute Naz's impact. So that was huge.
And it was good to see Houston back to his best.
I mean, as I said to Matthew before, like I didn't know if Josh and Dan Houston could work together in the back line, but now Dan Houston, he's giving himself no excuses for the ongoing foreseeable future because he's proven that he can play with Josh Dacos in the back line.
I was very impressed with Geordie and Nick tonight. They were very good tonight. I couldn't believe how good Geordie was.
And I think sometimes for whatever reason, maybe we forget, maybe we don't think Geordie is what he was. But if he's on the field and he's healthy, he is still all-Australian caliber and certainly at the very least a high, big moments player. So when you add that in with his composure around the ground, he still makes us that much better of a team.
I agree 100% with that.
Yeah. So hopefully we can see Geordie remain healthy for the course of the season. He didn't have that much, I think, time on ground wise. He wouldn't have had a big game because there was times where he was stuck on the bench, so to speak. He had 69% time on ground, which was the third lowest amongst the Pies. So hopefully he should be able to back this up. I'll just confirm, we have the Crows next Saturday evening at the G. So you'd like to think that Geordie will get up for that.
Yeah, I think he will. 100% he'll get up for that.
Yeah. What else did you take from the game, Chris?
I wasn't that impressed with Ed Allen and Will and Parker. I was like, they were being fumbly tonight. They were like, when they were getting the ball, they were turning it over a lot.
I agree. I don't think they're going to be dropped next week, so to speak. I think because we won and we need to get games into them to find out more. I think they've just got to be cleaner with the, in transition. Like it's really that simple. They can't fumble. This is a one-touch league. Like if you cannot gather the ball in one take and get the ball out, then you're not going to make it in this league. That's just the reality of it.
And I agree, like the tall forwards, they were not that great tonight. McStay wasn't that great. Membry wasn't that great. Bull wasn't that great tonight.
Yeah, look, the four, like Buller competed. He ran out of juice. Membry had opportunities, didn't convert. McStay was almost all night, pretty much. So again, probably just give them a couple more weeks to find their rhythm back into the rigors that is the AFL.
I heard a rumor they were saying it, like I think on Channel 7 that Darcy Moore could be back next week. Is that true?
As Fly would say, that's real. I think that could be a very real possibility. I don't think Jeremy Howe will be available. So I believe round 2 we have a bye, and then we come back the week after on a Friday night at Marvel against GWS. I'd like our chances to see Jeremy Howe in that game, or we have a 6-day break going into Easter Thursday against the Lions. So yeah, I'm sure the strength and conditioning and the medical team will figure out what works best. But I think with Adelaide and with the way Billy Frampton was underwhelming tonight, I think you have to get Darcy. If Darcy Moore is fit to perform, you've got to get him into the team.
I was not happy with the umpires. No, I think they were, the free kicks against like DC. I think when he was in the ruck, I don't think they were free kicks. How many times I saw holding the ball calls, and I don't really like this new rule, the out of bounds rule.
You don't like it?
Nah, I don't really like it.
Oh, I like it because it keeps the game in motion. I hate waiting 20 seconds for the ball to be thrown in.
No, but I didn't like it because how many times, like, I thought St Kilda, like, knocked it out of bounds and it wasn't out of, we didn't get a free kick.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, it's, again, sample size of one official game or one official round so far. Half the team have competed this weekend. So we'll get more information on what the vibe is on the out of bounds rule. But I would say it's better for the game. All good. Chris, I'll leave you there, my friend, and we'll see you throughout the course of the week. I appreciate you as always, my friend.
All right. See you, Anthony.
Take care, mate. All right. Guys, just quickly, want to support the channel. QR member code there, $10 a week. Join the Patreon. You get early access and access to some exciting giveaways. We've got some exciting giveaways coming up. So if you want to support the channel, it's there. There's also a comment pinned in the chat. And we'll move on to Kev.
What's going on, mate?
Talk to me, my friend.
Look, great game, great win, most importantly. I thought Billy Frampton was great tonight in defence, personally. Saved us a lot when it came with St Kilda's forward line in terms of attack. And yeah, I just thought the way that St Kilda's inaccuracy tonight really could have hurt us a little bit, but it didn't. And I thought our ball movement at times were great. The way that we used our handballing game, the way that we had like 4 or 5 Collingwood players around the contest and were able to get their handballing out, the way we were able to kick out of trouble as well. And yeah, I thought Steele was good. I thought Parker was good as well. I thought IQ played really well tonight. Nick Dacus was elite. And yeah, I thought the usual suspects got the job done in which we expected. So yeah, definitely
Yeah, the Saints
cannot wait to.
Sorry, I was just going to say that the Saints had some chances to convert. They missed some crucial set shots in some crucial moments. But I think our defense, for the most part, stood up. I mean, we conceded a bunch of inside 50s, which is generally the case anyways, but we just find a way to defend really well as a team.
Yeah, we did. And the scoring end that we had in that first and third quarter, we kick, was it 4 goals, 3, and then 5 goals, 5, whatever it was, in that third quarter. So for us to withstand that in the second and fourth quarter, in particular when the Saints were coming, that again, a very great effort. Considering that the stuff that's happened with the umpiring, and yes, we make some silly mistakes as well within that. But at the end of the day, man, like our experience in opening round, our experience in again the medical team, they deserve all the credit in the world because we rested our senior players and Kilda played their experienced players. And again, you got to manage your senior players for the for a long season. And when you manage Nick Dacos, when you manage Scott Penderbury, Jack Chris, still Cyborn, they all stood up tonight. So
Yeah.
hopefully Kane Corn shuts up and give us the credit that we deserve for that medical team.
Yeah, it was looking a bit sour early in January. No Darcy Moore, no Jeremy Howe, no Isaac Quaynor, no Dan McStay, no Bo McCreary, no Lockie Sullivan. I mean, the list goes on, and we've really narrowed that down to just Jeremy Howe and Darcy Moore. I mean, you can't really include Reef. Reef is still a work in progress. So, yeah, while Fly was impressive, I think the medical team and Jared Wade deserve their raps to start the season.
No, they certainly do. And this time last year when we played the Giants with the Nick Dacos cramping game and we're getting told we're too old, we're too slow, and yet it was just one bad game that we had, and then we obviously we won against Puerto and we got our season going, and then we ran out of juice, especially and then we won the first final, and then we lost in the prelim final in particular. So maybe like there are a few things that we are working on in terms of just managing our senior players during trains and maybe taking a few of them away, like away from a training session and just able to go, okay, well, you can get involved in this session, but you're not getting involved in the next session where we're just going to manage your training loads so you don't get injured at all. And then in that way we can play you for this week. And now that there's 5 on the bench, like we can hold a couple players back until like later part in that second quarter or the third quarter or the fourth quarter, and that way we're more fresh in particular. So I think a lot of teams will be looking to do that in particular. So I'm very proud of the boys on the way that we played, and hopefully against Seattle Crows, which unfortunately I won't be able to be there. But I'll be listening to on the AFL app definitely.
Yeah. Look, all in all, got the win. Really impressed. It felt like I certainly felt like we were in some ways the underdog, and I think we've just not that it matters. We've regained the respect again. Early days, of course, but just good to walk out and show the rest of the league that we were prelim finalists. We are the 2023 premiers, and there's still a few lads, few of the geriatrics who still have something to say for the remainder of the course of this season.
Well, like I said to you earlier, man, like in the pre-game, like this game meant so much to St Kilda. Like the pressure was on St Kilda right from the start because they wanted to play us in opening round. They've not experienced this before, and they need this game more than we need it. So in a way, like they get the money out of it, but that's all because of us. So next week you'll see me in a hospital bed having an operation, and can't wait.
Okay, mate. Well, I hope the surgery recovery goes well. I'm sure you'll be better for the long run, mate. And we're sending well wishes from everyone in the Pies footy community, mate. We all love you here. So
I love you too, man.
Yeah, we're sure you'll be back up and running, mate, for the rest of the season.
Yeah, no, definitely will do. It's just I've got a bit of a sinus issue on the nose that's blocked, so just wanting to get that done as well. So a few things that's been going well, but this one is a little bit of a minor hiccup, which I knew that's been blocked for a while, but no, definitely needs to be done now. And then later on. I know, yeah, I'm sick of having it to be blocked. So it's time to get it over and done with while I can. So yeah.
Mate, I got the deviated septum surgery. I had a fully blocked sinus 12 months ago. It's changed my life. So I think you're gonna love it. And you can see in the chat, mate, there's a lot of love and well wishes going your way right now.
Thank you guys. Love you all. Really do.
All right, Kev. I'll leave you with it, mate, and we'll talk to you throughout the week, okay?
Yeah, we'll do, mate. We'll do.
All right, see you, brother.
See you, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the first official post-game show for season 2026. Thank you all for being here tonight. Leave a quick like, subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow for fan takeaways at 6 p.m., maybe 7. I don't know. We'll see. But until then, I appreciate you all. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,
a champ, that's the king. Pendle bring, take off like Dicko. Give the man a chance.